Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. This is Sister Yasmina Isa, and I'm here to welcome you to class number 9 of Glow from the Inside Out. We're going to be talking about how to elegantly stay healthy when others get in your way, inshallah. And before I begin, I'd like to start off with the same dua we do every single class, and that is the dua of Musa, or Prophet Moses. May God's peace be upon him, when he asked him to, purify and, clarify his speech. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Okay, so this is going to be an exciting class because this whole set of classes for week 4 is all about, making this real for you, tying up everything. You've learned so many things, and I'm so proud of you. And, it's really going to bring everything together. So the first thing I want to start with is mentioning some of the things that you actually shared with me in our class survey. Let's see here. So the question I asked you was, how, if any, do you struggle with maintaining healthy habits because of others around you? And, I'm not going to read everything, but, I got something that said, yes, I get demotivated. Someone else said, my dad always wants sweets around the house, and in parentheses, to have with coffee. Someone else said, my husband is fairly healthy, so I have no excuse to fall through the cracks, but I do love my sweets and sugar in my coffee. I would like to say I am generally healthy, but I need to be more focused in consuming the types of food that don't serve me. In not consuming the types of food that don't serve me, and just stay with the ones that are serving me well. Doing that is challenging, not because of those around me, but because of me. So we're going to talk about how to get out of your own way too, even if it's not the influence of others. Someone else said that I find that it's difficult to structure meals because I have to cook for my husband and sister-in-law who live with me and grew up in a very rich food environment. I love eating leaner and healthier. My mom had always had to cook that way because 1, it was faster, and 2, she wanted to be healthy. I rarely have time to cook 2 meals, and so I end up boiling a lot of eggs and eating those with some kebabs I'll make and freeze for myself, but it can definitely get complicated. I could definitely see how that could get complicated, and we're going to get into that. Someone else said, it's hard to keep a positive mood when negative comments are made. Patience. It's hard to keep patience when my kids aren't listening. And the last one I'm going to read. My husband loves sweets and his chocolate, and has chocolate in his nightstands. He is, of course, thin, and I have gotten into the habit of eating chocolate every night before bed. I am trying to break out of this bad habit and really need help on getting rid of this craving. So, and we're going to talk more about chocolate in class number 13. Which is also coming out this week. So you gave a lot of good feedback. And the first thing I want to say is that healthy is simple, okay? And I came across a quote this week from Marie Forleo, and I really liked it, so I want to share it here. And she said that simple doesn't mean easy. It just means that you don't need a PhD to understand it. So I really like that because, when I say things are simple, it doesn't mean that you're not going to have to put any work in. Of course you're going to have to, but it's not complicated. And then in her quote, though, she said that simple doesn't mean easy. And that kind of brings about the idea that easy might be difficult. And one of our hashtags for Glow is that glowing is easy. So I actually want to make my own spin off of Marie's quote, and I want to say that easy doesn't mean effortless. It just means that you don't need a bunch of resources. And any of you who are familiar with Tony Robbins, this is not the first time I mentioned him in one of my videos, but one of my favorite quotes from him is when he says that it's not the resources you have, it's how resourceful you are with whatever it is you have. So I wanted to throw some inspiration your way before we even talk about anything that has to do with food or whatnot, or exercise or keeping good habits. Now, another thing I want to share with you is a common misconception. It's that, elegantly staying on track, staying healthy when others or yourself get in your way, it is not about willpower. A lot of times we've been taught that it's about willpower. And that actually totally goes against our feminine nature as women, and even, as men as well. This applies to men in certain ways too. We're taught things like calorie counting or counting points, and those things don't work because they are not sustainable. They could work for a certain degree. I know, for instance, when I lost 40 pounds and I started my own health journey a long time ago, years and years ago, I know that, I did do things like count calories and whatnot, but really sustainable living beyond that, day-to-day living, you need something more, and it's really a realm that's important to go into, and one that I want to share with you because it's one I'm constantly looking to explore for women specifically. So it's not about willpower. It's about, because if it's about willpower, you basically boil yourself down to your humanity. As humans, we're super resilient. We are awesome. We can accomplish many things with the help of God, the creator of the heavens and the earth. But, we have faults. We fall down. We make mistakes. We get off track. Things get in the way. So if it was only about willpower, we would never be 100%. Now, we should be pretty close, especially if you're serious about your goals, but you're setting yourself up for failure if willpower is the only measure of success, or the only tool to make sure that you don't, not fall off track, which we're going to talk about in the next video too. But instead of willpower, I want to give you a new model to focus on. And that new model is that you need to understand why things are good for you. So whenever, I work with a client, I try to focus on the fact, and let's say, I work with clients on many different reasons. It's not just about food, it's about your life as a whole, career, family, marriages, whatever the case may be. But let's keep it, focused on food, or let's say even someone who's trying to lose weight. One thing I love to share is that losing weight, eating healthy, is not about eating cardboard, first of all. And it's not about restriction. It's about loving what you're eating, so it should taste good. And that recipe book is getting sent your way this week, inshallah. It's about, which has a lot of delicious recipes in it. It's about loving the way you feel, because you might think you love that fast food item off the menu, or something that is loaded in sodium that taste really good at the time, but if it makes you feel completely like garbage afterwards, really, what good does that do? So you want something that tastes good, but also makes you feel great, and also is something that will not harm your body. Because if you're making yourself sick, and food has the ability to impact our health, you can't expect what you put into your body every day not to impact your life. And our cells are literally created, they renew themselves all the time, and their foundation is the food that we eat. That's why it's so important. It's not about what's on your plate, it's about how that translates into your life, and realizing that this body is a tool, this mind is a tool, because it's not just about your body, it's about how it impacts your mind too. So when you start to understand why things are not the best for you, or don't serve you the best, I know someone mentioned it here, it's easier to keep up with that. So for instance, many of you know how I go about living my own healthy lifestyle, and I share a lot of the behind the scenes of that on my Instagram. And, alhamdulillah, all praises due to God, I do not feel restricted ever. And, at the same time, though, there are certain things that I am not going to put in my body, but there's always, one, a healthy substitute, and two, when you really learn that something makes you feel really bad, or it's not serving you, then you're going to not want that thing because it doesn't feel good. I mean, it's common sense. So I hinted at the Food Mood Diary in last week's classes, and it will be yours, upon receiving this video. And the Food Mood Diary is going to help you track your symptoms, understanding how you interact with certain foods, and it'll help you, do what you need to do so that you can elegantly stay healthy when others or yourself get in your way. And so, that's my main point for this video, God willing. And what I'd like you to do is to please leave a comment if you have any tips yourself to share on how you like to elegantly stay healthy. And any good in this video, as always, comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, God, the creator of the heavens and the earth. And any shortcomings, come from myself, because I'm a human being like you, just striving to be better every single day and sharing what what I get from that. And so please do realize that. And then more importantly too, if you like this video, if it's been helpful for you, please share it on your social media, share it with your friends and your family, because then you have an impact to benefit others as well, and then it just turns into this effect that keeps on giving and giving and giving. So I really look forward to your interaction. Thank you for watching. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.